Lucas Liu was famous in our circle for being a wife fanatic. For me, he rejected an arranged marriage with a powerful family and pampered me endlessly from day one. Yet, at his bachelor party right before our wedding, his white moonlight asked him, "If I crashed your wedding, would you leave with me?" He looked her dead in the eye and replied, "Yes." I held back my tears and sent a text to my best friend, a super wealthy heiress. "Can you pick me up and get me out of here as fast as possible?" 7 minutes later, my best friend arrived, her tires nearly sparking. "I told you so, with her looks and personality, she should be marrying into a wealthy family to enjoy life," Vivian said. "My brother is fair-skinned and fit, my dad is dashing and charismatic, just pick one." The wedding day was approaching, so our close friends organized a raucous bachelor party for Lucas. Everyone in his small circle knew how much Lucas spoiled me. If he didn't bring me along, he would definitely go home before 10 p.m. He never cared if others were having fun or not. So this time they enthusiastically invited me too. But as soon as I walked in, I felt something was off in the atmosphere. Everyone greeted me warmly, but they kept stealing glances at Lucas and signaling to each other. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Once everyone was seated, a girl with short hair finally made a leisurely entrance. "Sorry, traffic was terrible, I'm late." The girl was tall and thin, her voice clear and refreshing. Lucas, sitting beside me, suddenly stiffened. That was the first time I saw the look of a heart skipping a beat on someone's face. The girl enthusiastically extended her hand toward me. "This must be the future bride, right? Let's get acquainted, I'm Chloe Yu." Hearing that name, I suddenly understood everything. This was the white moonlight Lucas had loved for years. Rumor had it that back when Lucas wasn't as steady as he is now, he pursued her madly. He once laid out 10,000 roses downstairs for her. Once set off 100 meters of fireworks on the beach for her. His entire youth was filled with her shadow, yet 3 years ago, she decisively followed another guy abroad to study. I met Lucas right at that time. At a cocktail party that day, Lucas walked through the dim lights toward me. I had only drunk half a glass of wine, yet I was drunk as a skunk. I hurriedly asked friends around me for information about him. When my friends pushed me in front of him, I was so nervous my tongue got tied. "My name is Sophia Sue, may I ask what Mr. Liu's first name is?" Laughter erupted around us, and Lucas's brow, which had been furrowed for months, finally relaxed at that moment. After we got together, Lucas gave almost all his gentleness to me. He remembered exactly what I liked to eat and what I didn't. No matter how late I worked overtime, he insisted on personally picking me up. Every holiday, I received gifts he had painstakingly prepared. He posted my photo on his social media moments, introducing me to every relative. Even his friends started to get jealous. One plants the tree, another enjoys the shade. "Sophia, you really got lucky." Lucas chased the hardest to get girl, cultivated top-tier EQ, and in the end, you get to enjoy it all. I never felt sad because of those words. Because they said that whether in appearance or personality, that other girl and I were completely different. I wasn't a replacement for anyone. More importantly, I felt that Lucas loved me very much. We loved each other passionately for 3 years, and he firmly proposed to me. I thought our love was about to bear fruit smoothly. But right at this moment, reality dealt me a heavy blow. Chloe calmly sat down next to me, took a bottle of perfume out of her bag, and handed it to me. "A wedding gift, this scent is very classy, I've used it for 7 or 8 years and haven't changed." She smiled until her eyes squinted. I have to say she behaved very tactfully, and her personality was likable too. Even the wedding gift was given to me, not Lucas. I accepted the gift and said thanks. And she took out her phone to add me on WeChat. "If you get bullied in the future, remember to tell on him to me. Even though Lucas and I grew up together, I won't take the groom's side. If anything happens, I'll definitely defend you." The friends around us clapped. As expected of our big sister, still so cool. Chloe paused for a moment, looked past me, and directed her gaze at Lucas sitting on the other side. "Hey, what's wrong with you? Haven't seen you in 3 years. Have you become a man of few words?" Everyone around was drinking or gossiping, but their eyes were glued to the three of us, afraid of missing any dramatic details. Lucas's hands turned visibly red, and he didn't even dare to turn his head to look at her, just holding his wine glass and pretending to be humorous. "I'm not a man of few words. It's simply been too long, I don't know what to say." Chloe laughed and said, "Blaming me for not contacting you for 3 years, huh?" She raised her glass toward him. "Well, let's keep in touch often from now on." Lucas glanced at me and said, "My wife is very strict. If you want to contact me in the future, there's an extra step. You have to report to my wife first." They both smiled, clearing the air, and clinked glasses with each other. Everything was said clearly, without hidden meanings, incredibly straightforward. Yet somehow, sitting between the two of them, my heart felt heavy. Perhaps because after living together for 3 years, I understood Lucas's body language too well. Tonight he was too tense. Wine had been drunk, rock paper scissors had been played. By the end of the party, everyone was slightly tipsy. Lucas lost at rock paper scissors to Chloe and chose truth. Chloe, who had been reserved all evening, suddenly acted on a whim. She tilted her head, her voice sounding a bit arrogant as she asked Lucas, "If I came to your wedding to steal the groom, would you leave with me?" As soon as the question dropped, the crowd, already buzzing from alcohol, immediately uproar. "Oh wow, after the whole night, you two are finally dropping the act. That's right, this is how it should be. Speak up. Would you follow her?" Lucas drank until the corners of his eyes were slightly red. He looked at her, his eyes filled with surging emotions, and seriously answered, "Yes." The whole group exploded. Damn it, I knew it. Steal the groom, steal the groom. The cheering made everyone in the bar turn their eyes toward us. I sat between the two of them, only feeling it becoming harder and harder to breathe, my hands starting to tremble slightly. I didn't know how to face this awkward situation. Using the excuse of going to the restroom to escape the scene, I held back tears and sent a message to my best friend, Vivian Ling. "Can you pick me up and get me out of here as fast as possible?" Vivian's phone call came immediately. "What's wrong? Did they bully you?" "No, don't ask anymore. Can you come pick me up?" I felt like I was about to cry. Hearing that, Vivian got anxious, her tone agitated like a warrior. "Wait there, I'm coming right now." 10 minutes, no. 7 minutes is too slow. Drive slowly, be careful. Ignore me. 7 minutes later, Vivian drove her Bugatti, rushing in aggressively. The wheels spun so fast they nearly sparked. As soon as I saw her, I couldn't hold it back anymore, my eyes turning red. Vivian grabbed my hand, trying to suppress her anger. "Did you people bully her? Lucas, are you dead? She's this upset, can't you see it?" Vivian is a super, wealthy heiress, with a stubborn personality and shining aura. As soon as she appeared, she immediately suppressed the whole crowd. Glancing at Chloe, Vivian's eyes instantly became sharp. "Oh, so it's you here?" Chloe stood up and pulled me, smiling in a friendly way. "We were just playing a game together. Why get so angry?" "I'm used to being casual, it's my first time dealing with such a gentle girl, I didn't know the boundaries, my bad." Vivian pulled me hard behind her back. "Who allowed you to touch her? I see you're not being casual, you're playing dumb." At this moment, Lucas also sobered up. He rubbed his temples, stood up, and said, "Sophia is tired. I should take her home." Vivian laughed coldly. "I'm here, why do we need you? You just keep pretending to be dead." Everyone stood there awkwardly watching Vivian help me pack my things. She grumbled as she packed. "I told you, with your looks and personality, you should marry into a wealthy family to enjoy life. You insisted on crawling into a nouveau rich family to suffer. That circle, fighting and scheming, fake and two-faced, is that a place a simple person like you should go?" Lucas's family had net assets of 9 figures. A nouveau rich with 9-figure assets, a rare phrase, but coming from her mouth, no one dared to refute it. Vivian finished packing, picked up my bag, saw the exquisitely wrapped perfume bottle inside, didn't ask anything, and casually took it out and threw it on the ground. "What kind of outdated stuff is this that you dare to give as a gift?" The perfume bottle rolled on the ground and stopped right at Chloe's feet. Chloe's face turned pale. Vivian dragged me straight out. Lucas chased us to the door, grabbing me. "Sophia, don't be angry." When she suddenly asked that question, my mind just went blank. I looked into Lucas's deep eyes, suddenly losing all strength. "You want to say that was your instinctual reaction, that you truly want to be with her?" "Of course not, Sophia, it was just a game. If I answered no, she would lose face in front of our friends. So to save face for her, you were willing to trample on my self-esteem. You just gave her an answer to save face, but what you gave me is a whole marriage." I brushed his hand away, so angry I laughed. "So I still have the better deal, huh? Lucas, after being together for 3 years, I didn't expect you to be such a master of balancing things." At this moment, Vivian drove up and honked loudly. Lucas tried to pull me again. "How about I take you home, we can talk clearly on the way." Vivian frowned. "If you're so free, why don't you take your BYD out and drive a few ride-share trips to sober up?" Lucas choked on his words. His blue plate Bentley made him feel humiliated for the first time. I opened the car door and got in, turning back to say to Lucas, "Let's cancel our wedding, we both need to think it over very carefully." On the way back, I scrolled through social media and found Chloe had posted 2 status updates. The first status, she indeed doesn't look like me at all. But don't you think that makes the fake cover up even more obvious? The second status. If you wanted to use the past 3 years to prove that my leaving you was a mistake, then you have succeeded. The emotions suppressed all evening suddenly burst out. I cried uncontrollably, feeling that my 3 years of true love were truly worthless. I thought Lucas's boundless pampering for me came from love. I didn't expect it was him intentionally putting on a show for her to see. I was just a tool in the high-stakes love game of the two of them. Vivian is a straightforward girl, she doesn't know how to say nice words to comfort others. She is used to solving problems directly. Stop crying, there's no shortage of men, just switch to someone else. My brother is fair-skinned and fit, my dad is dashing and charismatic, you choose one. I cried enough, then was made to laugh by her. Vivian, am I very useless? At a time like this, I still have to let you stand up for me. Vivian patted my head gently. What are you saying? Everyone has their own personality. I lost my mom early, the three of us father and children aren't exactly normal, we don't know how to express affection. I've been rebellious since I was small, giving people headaches, and didn't have many chances to express myself. But you were born a gentle deity. Every day with you is like bathing in a spring breeze. You are also the doctor who gives the most painless injections in this city. When I was hospitalized, if it weren't for you being there every day, ignoring the trouble to coax me, I definitely wouldn't have made it. These words were very useful, my collapsed self-esteem was rebuilt. Vivian said, I'm telling the truth, are you really not considering marrying into my family? She had said this sentence many times. Vivian and I met because she was sick and hospitalized. The director personally acted as her attending physician. I was the assistant. But because I spoke gently and gave painless injections, Vivian arrogantly decided to have me be her attending physician, thereby building a deep revolutionary friendship. At that time, I was already dating Lucas. Vivian regretted it every day, slapping her thigh. Why didn't I get sick a few months earlier? You were still single then. There was still hope to bring you home as a sister-in-law. The innocent bystander dragged into this was Dr. Ethan Ling, Vivian's biological brother, who had specially taken leave from abroad to visit. Hearing this, his face darkened. Under her ceaseless nagging, the relationship between Dr. Ling and me was at freezing point from the very beginning. Every time we bumped into each other, I would lower my head in embarrassment. He would awkwardly look up, both of us pretending not to see the other. Not long ago, Dr. Ling returned from studying abroad and started working at our hospital, even in the office right next to mine. The appearance of this cold, talented handsome man caused an uproar in the whole hospital. Girls, whether they had business or not, had to walk past his office door twice. The number of people asking for leave dropped significantly, while I had to hold my pee at work, afraid of walking in the corridor too many times and bumping into him often. Seeing I didn't say anything, Vivian became excited. You're silent. Are you seriously thinking about it? Have you thought it through? My brother or my dad? The corner of my mouth twitched. If those are the only two choices, I'd rather choose your dad. Vivian got even more excited. Okay, actually I think so too. My dad is old, he'll die sooner, you'll inherit his assets sooner. The two of us will order male escorts every day. My brother won't do, he lives a disciplined life and is into wellness. His health is annoyingly good, I'm afraid you won't outlive him. My face turned black. The next afternoon, Vivian arrived at the hospital on time to pick me up from work. Passing by Dr. Ling's office door, she pulled me straight in. Brother, are you working overtime today? Dr. Ling looked up from his computer screen. He was 6'3" with sharp brows, a high straight nose, and eyes that were both cold and seductive. It was the kind of beauty that made people look once and blame the creator for favoritism. Dr. Ling glanced at me, his eyes indifferent. No, as soon as the words were spoken, Dr. Wang sitting opposite him looked up in surprise. Dr. Ling, aren't you? Ling swept his eyes over him like a torch. Dr. Wang froze and swallowed his words. Vivian asked again, so are you going out to eat? Dr. Ling pretended to think for a bit and said, that works too. After saying that, he decisively stood up and tidied the documents on his desk. Vivian was overjoyed. Great. Since you're going out to eat tonight, I'll take Sophia to our house for dinner. It just so happens she's not comfortable at her place. Dr. Ling's movement stopped, he slowly looked up at Vivian, his eyes inexplicably carrying a murderous aura. Then why don't you just take her out to eat? The food at our house isn't that good either. Dr. Ling's face looked very unpleasant. Auntie Wang, the one cooking for the family, was originally a gardener. Because she was old and couldn't dig the soil anymore, she asked to be the cook. The rice she cooks. Very healthy. Vivian stood on tiptoe and whispered in his ear. I want to take her home, introduce her to our dad. About to have a stepmom. Are you happy? Are you surprised? Daughter. Ling slowly straightened up, looking at Vivian with eyes like he was looking at a dead person. A few seconds later, he grabbed Vivian and walked straight to the CT room. Go get a scan to see if they cut out the wrong part of your brain when you were hospitalized last time. The corridor echoed with Vivian's struggling sounds. My brain is fine. Let me analyze for you 3 benefits of having a stepmom. First, once dad gets married, he won't push for our marriages every day anymore. Second, I'll have the stepmom whisper pillow talk, transfer the company to me, so you can peacefully be your Dr. Ling. I also get my wish to be the chairwoman of the board. The whole family is happy. Third, the stepmom is young and beautiful, with a hot body, no surprises there. Next year we can hold a baby brother, the family has an heir. You won't need to give birth anymore, you can even go get a vasectomy. Ah, why are you pinching me? Ouch ouch ouch. When the car left the hospital, a familiar car glided past. I turned my head back and asked, is that Lucas? Vivian looked calm. No, you saw wrong. He doesn't know which bed he's on, confiding in his white moonlight right now. Where would he have the time to pay attention to you? I am a person with stable emotions. I originally thought breaking up should also save face. Hearing her say that, suddenly I felt there was no face left to save. I blocked all of Lucas's contact methods, out of sight, out of mind. Dr. Ling and we arrived home almost at the same time. As soon as he got home, he went into his room to change clothes, keeping a cold face the whole process. Only when Auntie Wang served dinner on the table did Dr. Ling step out of his room. Vivian jumped when she saw him. Are you sick? Why are you dressed like this at home? Dr. Ling sat upright at the dining table in a tight, fitting suit, not a hair out of place, looking like a cold CEO. Isn't this how I usually am? Dr. Ling asked through gritted teeth. The corner of Vivian's mouth twitched a few times, saying nothing. At this time Mr. Ling came back, greeted me enthusiastically, then sat down at the dining table. Dr. Ling looked at Mr. Ling's elegant suit, not changing clothes, usually. Don't you rush to change into a t-shirt as soon as you get home, saying wearing a suit isn't comfortable. Mr. Ling looked at me and then at Dr. Ling dressed neatly, saying happily. It's rare for you kids to bring a friend home, I have to keep up appearances a bit. The corner of Dr. Ling's mouth also twitched a few times, and he officially started the meal. Ling held half a bowl of rice, looking arrogant, picking at some trotters. Take these pig trotters a bit further away, too greasy. Auntie Wang made them. Dr. Ling chewed vegetables politely and slowly. Mr. Ling looked confused. Usually, aren't you unhappy without meat? You won't eat a single piece of vegetable. Dr. Ling's movement stopped. He looked at his father who was leisurely cutting his steak. Usually when you eat steak, don't you also use chopsticks? Mr. Ling choked. I hurriedly smoothed things over. Knives and forks are indeed not as convenient as chopsticks. Sometimes I use chopsticks when eating steak too. The atmosphere softened a bit. Dr. Ling continued, usually, Dad, you like eating steamed fish heads the most, spitting fish bones all over the table. Heath, are you sick today? Mr. Ling gritted his teeth, threw down his chopsticks, and left. You guys eat, I'm full of rage. Vivian bowed her head and ate in silence, not daring to speak, not daring to ask. Luckily Auntie Wang broke the awkward atmosphere. There's a car parked in front of our house for a long time, don't know who it's waiting for. Looks like a BYD. Dr. Ling stood up immediately upon hearing this. Everyone eat, I'll go take a look. A moment later, Dr. Ling's voice rang out downstairs. Uncle Zhang, go chase that blue plate car away, say no one in our house ordered a ride, share. He got the wrong address. While you're at it, give him 500 yuan, tell him to go to the roadside and eat a bowl of noodles. Waiting all evening isn't easy. I whispered to Vivian. Your brother has issues, but he's actually a good person. Vivian was speechless. Vivian was afraid Lucas would come to my house to bother me, so she told me to stay at her house temporarily for a few days. Dr. Ling showed no objection, even proactively giving up his room to me. He said this room had good sunlight. While he moved to sleep in the guest room next to his father's bedroom. Vivian clicked her tongue in praise. My brother has never allowed me to bring girls home, let alone let a girl touch his things. I even suspected he hated women a bit, yet he's so tolerant towards you. Do you know what that means? What does it mean? I asked. Just then Dr. Ling's footsteps going downstairs suddenly slowed. It proves that adulterous couple is truly too much. Even a cold-blooded person like my brother had to awaken a bit of compassion. Vivian said angrily. If you don't know how to speak, just shut your mouth. Ethan Ling grunted coldly. Then the sound of him stomping downstairs was very loud. Ethan's room was very clean, with a faint scent of wood. I opened the window, wanting to air it out. The wind blew a stack of documents off the bookshelf. I bent down to pick them up. Page after page, they were the medical records I wrote for Vivian 3 years ago. The last page was written by Ethan, his handwriting was very beautiful. Sophia Su, Tsinghua University Affiliated Hospital I. It seemed to have no emotion. Yet the whole page seemed to hide repressed feelings. I seemed to have seen a shocking secret. Trembling, I tidied up the things and put them back in place, trembling as I returned to the bed and lay there like a corpse, telling myself not to overthink, not to overthink. But his scent was everywhere in the room. Closing my eyes, Ethan's face kept flashing before my eyes like a lantern slide. I couldn't stand it and lost sleep. The next morning we met at the dining table. I had panda eyes. So did Ethan. Ling looked tired, as if he had aged 10 years. Vivian was surprised. What's wrong? Did everyone not sleep well last night? I stammered. Maybe because I changed beds and wasn't used to it. Ethan also said he wasn't used to the new bed. Mr. Ling looked weakly at Ethan. If you can't sleep because you changed beds, why torture your father? Going crazy all night. Just as I went out to use the bathroom, he ran out to look, making me unable to sleep all night. Ethan eloquently said, which normal person pees 8 times a night? Mr. Ling's lips trembled. I'm old, I pee often and urgently, I'm not normal, okay. After speaking, he threw his chopsticks and left with a humiliated look. He had been full of rage for 2 meals in a row, no wonder he didn't gain any weight. Vivian gnawed on a bun. Let my brother take you to work later, I won't see you off. I hurriedly refused. No need to trouble Dr. Ling, I can just take a taxi. Ethan stood up and said, it's on the way anyway, I can just take you these few days. He took his phone, his ears turning red. Add me on WeChat. I was thinking whether to refuse or not. Vivian said, no way. Brother, just driving a colleague to work and you have to add WeChat to make her share the gas money. I suddenly understood. So it's because of this. I overthought it. I quickly took out my phone to add him on WeChat and transferred 600 yuan to him. Is that enough? Ethan didn't say anything, just silently looked at Vivian, seeming to have lost all strength and tactics. On the way to work, Ethan drove with a cold face. To dispel this awkward time, I took out my phone and started scrolling through social media. As soon as I scrolled, the sky collapsed. I discovered that last night this cold Dr. Ling had posted a status. Today the house added a pair of cute chopsticks. The attached photo was the large bowl of rice in front of me, incidentally capturing my right hand holding the chopsticks. Although the photo quality was compressed, it wasn't hard to recognize. This bowl of rice was packed very tightly. I ate a lot. First time eating at someone else's house. I didn't dare ask for a second bowl, so I tried to pack this bowl of rice tight, taking a bit more. At this moment I felt very embarrassed, but what was more terrible was the comments section. I could see the comments of mutual friends. Chloe commented almost immediately. Who is that? Who is this? Lucas probably recognized my bracelet. His comments were broken into several lines. Is she at your house? No way. What do you mean by posting this? Pass a message to her. I'm coming to your door to pick her up. You're cruel. You just wait. I slowly turned to Ethan. Dr. Ling, why did you post such a status? Ethan looked calm. Usually everyone feels my personality is cold and unapproachable. I wanted to show my warm and hospitable side. I was a bit speechless. Dr. Ling, how do you know Chloe and Lucas? Chloe is a friend of my classmate. 3 years ago I went abroad to study and she came too. One day, this Lucas added me on WeChat, saying a bunch of incomprehensible words, and even told me to take care of her. I suddenly remembered they said that year Chloe followed another guy abroad, only now did I realize. Was the guy Chloe chased actually him? Ethan suddenly turned his head to look at me, his eyes extremely serious. I don't have any relationship with her, we don't even count as friends. I quickly understood these relationships. So for the past 3 years, could you see every status Lucas posted on social media? Yes, I remembered the first time we met. Ethan stared at me for a long time, until Vivian screamed like a pig being slaughtered, and he came back to his senses. So at the hospital, the first time we met, you already recognized me, right? I asked. Incorrect. The order is incorrect. Ethan said while driving, every word stabbed into my heart. First I met you at the hospital, then I received Lucas's friend request. And saw you in his social media. If it weren't for seeing you in his posts, I wouldn't have had the patience to listen to his nonsense. Nor would I have kept his WeChat until now. These pieces of information exploded in my head. Eventually I only grasped one main thread. In other words, Lucas was already with me then. But still couldn't let go of his white moonlight. He humbly sent those incomprehensible messages to his white moonlight's dream guy. My eyes stung, and I didn't speak for a long time. Ethan silently handed me a tissue. Don't be sad, there's no shortage of men, just switch to another one. I sniffled. The messages he sent you, is it convenient for me to see them? Ethan froze for a few seconds, then decisively said, not convenient. If it's not convenient, then it's not convenient. Why look as embarrassed as if he'd been stripped pants less? What does that mean? After a while, I stayed at Vivian's house at night and went to work with Ethan in the morning. The painful phase after the breakup passed very quickly. Ethan was like a savage gradually becoming civilized, not only learning how to care for others but even starting to learn cooking, making Auntie Wang extremely panicked, afraid she was about to lose her job. Another victim was Dr. Wang sitting opposite Ethan. Ethan suddenly didn't like working overtime anymore. Dr. Wang suffered alone, his hairline visibly receding. Vivian clicked her tongue in praise. The person with the most abnormal personality in our family has recently become more and more normal. But I feel he is still a bit abnormal. For example, at night before going to sleep, he would ask me a few sentences like caring for his patient. How do you feel these past 2 days? Are you used to sleeping? I nodded, used to it. He turned away and immediately posted on social media. My bed, finally she sleeps used to it. The attached photo was my clothes hanging at the head of his bed. The comment section was probably too vulgar with cursing. By the time I saw it, it was a neat row of, "This comment has been deleted." I stared with my mouth open. Dacre Ling, is this also to show your warm hospitality? Ethan peeled a grapefruit for me with a calm face. No, this is to torture single dogs. The first person to be tortured was Chloe. Probably tortured to the point of not sleeping all night. Just as the sky turned bright, she waited at Ethan's door, peeking in, wanting to see with her own eyes who the woman Ethan was posting about was. But she was very unlucky. Vivian, who was used to sleeping late and waking late, woke up unusually early that day. When the two looked at each other, Vivian smiled ferociously. Heaven has a path you don't take, hell has no door yet you barge in. She had wanted to hit someone for a long time, only suffering because we are in a civilized society. Vivian rolled up her sleeves, gathered her key, shouted loudly, "Thief," then rushed up to beat her up. Auntie Wang heard the scream, crawled up half asleep, and grabbed a broom to join the chaotic fight. Only when Chloe's crying became increasingly ear-piercing did Auntie Wang sober up a bit. Are we hitting too hard? Vivian immediately said, not hard. Will a thief remember the lesson otherwise? Auntie Wang, your cooking isn't good, do you have no strength to hit people either? Hearing this, Auntie Wang instantly thought of her precarious employment situation. To show she was capable and irreplaceable, Auntie Wang rolled up her sleeves and hit through gritted teeth. When security arrived, it was very difficult to pull her away. Chloe was bruised all over, her face swollen like a pig's head, crying until she was almost out of breath. When I went to work, I coincidentally received Chloe, who had just had her external wounds treated. Her emotions had just stabilized. But seeing the bracelet on my hand was the exact one Ethan posted, her emotions instantly lost control again. So it's you. Did you approach him to take revenge on me? I pressed her down. Don't move around during the exam, the machine is expensive. You can't afford it. I accidentally pressed on her external wound, it hurt so much she cried for her parents. After calming down, she indeed became more obedient and quickly regained her reason. Knowing I was a soft persimmon, she stared at me and laughed coldly. Lucas's answer that night, you must be very upset. Right. You should understand clearly that you and I are ultimately different. I am the one he chased for years and couldn't get, while you are the one who voluntarily delivered yourself to his door. Your status and mine in his heart are worlds apart. She was very smart. Every word and sentence twisted into my heart. It's just that I didn't care anymore. Seeing my expression didn't change as I continued examining her, she lowered her voice, continuing to increase the intensity. Moreover, did you know? That night after you left, he immediately took me home and stayed overnight. While you were tossing and turning, he was sleeping soundly beside me. This is the man you loved for 3 years. Talking about it, although I caused you a bit of pain. Actually, you should thank me for letting you see this man clearly, right? I frowned, my face serious. Chloe smiled smugly. Just now you were calm and composed, what's wrong? Can't pretend anymore. I shook my head, pondered for a moment, typed out a paper and handed it to her. Ultrasound results show a mass in your right breast. Breast cancer cannot be excluded. Suggest biopsy for further confirmation. Chloe's smile froze. What did you say? Are you trying to scare me? You overthought it. I'm not that bored. I stood up to tidy the tools, throwing away the trash, my emotions extremely stable, not even forgetting to hand her the fruit basket on the table. This is sent by the person who accidentally injured you, remember to take it. Talking about it, although she caused you a bit of pain. Actually, you should thank her for helping you detect this disease, right? Chloe's eyes went blank, her hands went limp, and the fruit basket fell all over the floor. The day Lucas came to the hospital to find me was a rare sunny day. During lunch break, rare quiet time, Ethan felt chest pain and palpitations. He insisted I check him, regardless of whether I agreed or not, closing the door himself, taking off his white coat, and lying on the bed. He undid the buttons of his shirt one by one. Usually, he looked very thin in clothes, but taking off the buttons revealed that under that ascetic shirt hid such a firm chest. Seeing me sit still without moving, he urged. "What's wrong? Sue, get started." I honestly said, "Just checking the chest, no need to unbutton down to the lower abdomen." Ethan said. "Oh," and slowly buttoned up the lower buttons, hiding his beautiful 8-pack abs. I disinfected the tool and applied lubricating gel. When touching his chest, his body trembled slightly, and his breathing became uneven. "Dr. Ling. Don't be nervous, relax." I curled my lips and smiled at him, holding the device and slowly moving it over his chest. The surroundings were strangely quiet. Ethan's eyelashes trembled slightly, and his face gradually turned red. Tisk, both weak and likes to show off. Just then Dr. Wang from the next room barged in. "Eyes Dr. Sue here." As soon as he looked, he saw the cold ascetic academic genius lying shirtless next to me. Dr. Wang closed his eyes in pain. Ethan sat up and buttoned his shirt. That face quickly returned to its usual coldness. I tried to hold back my laughter and asked, "Is something the matter, Dr. Wang?" Dr. Wang closed his eyes and said, "Downstairs there's a blue plate Bentley, full of flowers, looks like it's here to find Dr. Sue." I was slightly stunned, opened the window to look out, and sure enough, it was Lucas. These days he was like a desperate dog looking for me everywhere, even registering for medical appointments to find me. I heard him out, a tearful repentance, and only rationally suggested he go to the psychiatry department next door to have his brain checked. Clearly, he still hadn't given up. At this moment he stood downstairs, behind him a brilliant sea of flowers. Lucas saw me through the window and started pouring his heart out tearfully. That day I was too drunk. By the time I woke up, the disaster had already happened. I always regretted it endlessly, then calmly thought about it. That was nothing more than an obsession of loving but not having for all these years. After having it, I discovered that actually, the person I love most has long been you. Sophia, can you forgive me? Can you allow me to pursue you one more time? Just like before. He looked at me with earnest eyes. Previously I often thought about how the teenage Lucas laying flowers downstairs pursuing Chloe would look. Back then he was radiant and generous. Surely his eyes were filled with the shyness and joy of first love. It wouldn't be this look of tormented suffering like now. People can't have their cake and eat it too. I turned to Dr. Wang. He's not here to find me. This is clearly disturbing hospital order. Hurry and call the security team to handle it. Don't let him pull out a banner. It would be troublesome if photos get posted online. The local area is building a civilized city. Hearing this, Dr. Wang became extremely nervous and ran to call security. The confession banner in Lucas's hand hadn't even been unfurled before he was pinned to the ground by a group of security guards with metal batons. Lucas tried to lift his head, wanting to ask me for help through the window, but accidentally saw Ethan standing next to me. His eyes turned red and he angrily cursed incoherently. "You bastard. Your schemes are so deep, hiding for so long, just to poach my corner. Ethan, you come down here, if you're a man get down here." He cried and screamed, looking even more like he was disturbing hospital order. Dr. Wang growled softly, "Hurry and cover his mouth. Don't let him make noise." Lucas was quickly gagged with medical tape and escorted to the security room. I breathed a sigh of relief and closed the window, but just as I turned around, I found Ethan had unbuttoned his shirt again. He sat there, his face full of shy regret. "Just now we didn't finish looking." He took my hand and placed it on his chest. "Dr. Sue. Hurry and test to see if my heart is beating fast." I smiled, letting him lead the way. Never allow yourself to be a second choice or a placeholder for someone's past, as true love demands wholehearted devotion, not just convenience. Having the courage to walk away from disrespect is the essential step to making room for the genuine happiness and the person who will truly cherish you.